Everyone, how's it going? This is Paik4Life, day 4 of the 10 days of live streaming. This is the first time I've ever done this kind of, I guess, topic, which is just an Ask Me Anything. It's an open call to whatever you guys have questions about. If you guys want to ask me about, how I do reviews or really about anything, go ahead and ask. We're going to keep it pretty casual. I don't think it's going to be a very busy time given that it's Christmas Eve and it's in the morning, which a lot of people are not morning people, me myself included. And if I don't get a lot of questions, I'll just I don't know. I guess I'll just start doing a jig or something like that. But in any case, one quick apology. I did mean to schedule this with StreamYard, and I forgot that you have to actually do that in StreamYard in order to get the kind of features and functionality. I haven't done that in a while, so next time around, I will actually schedule that with StreamYard so that I get more of the functionality. Hey, what's up, Pack? Oh, you changed your name. 3Livestream. Yes, thank you very much. Oh, sorry, blocking that. Happy Christmas to you too. Hey, Alan, how's it going, man? Hey, I messaged you a couple times about the Docat, that Ocular Max Blue Ravage that I still need to give you for Toy Dojo. I don't know if you've gotten my text messages, but we need to get that to you at some point. So yeah, I haven't forgotten it's sitting there on top of this pile of stuff. No, I didn't review Docat. I didn't get that for myself, so I haven't reviewed that. I think people have seen the Ravage mold a couple of times, and I think I might have done it twice now, so I don't know if we need to. Oh, open your copy? I'll think about it. Maybe I'll do that as one of these 10 days of live streaming. I really did it as this 10-day thing was kind of a off-the-cuff decision for me to try to get back into being more regular and forcing myself to be a little bit more creative with what the content I do. I'm going to try to do more stuff that's not just reviews, maybe not just Transformers. What Transformers are under my tree for tomorrow? I don't know, given that it's gifts. So I don't think I'm getting any Transformers, to be perfectly honest. What I'm hoping for and what I believe I'll be getting is a new game console. So as far as the kids, so Alan asked, what is under the Christmas tree for my kids? Actually, nothing. As far as Transformers go, my kids had grown up with me doing the Transformers thing for a while, and they were into it because I was into it, and then I think they kind of grew out of it. They kind of got tired of it, so we're not getting them that stuff anymore. They're all like most kids nowadays. They're into their game consoles, their iPads. Actually, more iPads than anything else. So the thing they always ask for, whether it be their birthday or Christmas or who knows, Kwanzaa, whatever it is, they tend to ask for gift cards now, which makes me sad. They ask for like Apple gift cards or for Fortnite, for V-Bucks, stuff like that. And I really honestly hate spending money on that digital currency, so we try to limit that. They're getting some stuff that will help them be a little bit more active. I'm trying to get them some stuff that will keep them outside a bit more, especially with COVID. Want them to still be as active as possible. So I think I missed a comment here. Let's see. So 3Livestream said he got a Make Toys Dystopia this morning for Christmas. You do know it's one day early, right? But that's awesome to be able to get a Dystopia. Yeah, Alan, I agree. Gift cards are a bit of a cop-out. Yeah, we try to avoid that. We're actually doing a Secret Santa we're going to my cousin's house, and we have Secret Santa. So I have 2 kids that we got Secret Santas for, and they're also very much into gaming. So we actually got one of them Marvel Avengers for the Xbox One. He's an Xboxer. And for the other one, I got them a Google Stadia because they're trying to build their first gaming computer, and which is a cool thing. I remember building my first computer, and I think I was like in high school or something like that. And I remember it was a really cool experience. So I wanted to get him a Stadia because he wants a gaming computer, and I thought having a gaming controller, since he's a console gamer traditionally, would be something he could really get some use out of. And given that, I've heard really good things about Stadia. Let's see here. Hey, King Rouse, how's it going? Yeah, your son is super into Fortnite. You're like T-Man 978. He recently, not his son, T-Man 978 himself recently got into Fortnite. So he's he's been into that. He's been chatting with me in TM reviews about Fortnite, showing off his various victory royales. Yeah, I'm not into Fortnite. I've never been very good at first person or third person shooters, to be perfectly honest. I guess I'm just not good at that. I'm really a fighting game player. I used to be. Alan said he's used the Stadia. It's pretty decent, but needs some kind of killer apps or exclusives. Yeah, I don't see that really happening as far as exclusives, but at least Cyberpunk 2077 seems to run better on that than on the previous gen consoles. Let's see who we have. I bought King Rouse Review says I bought my 6-year-old the Transformers Devastation game for PS4. That's awesome. Yeah, I had that. I don't think I played it all the way through. Um, I got through a good amount of it, and I was playing with my kids because they were really interested in seeing it, the animation, and so forth. Alan, are you into MK lately? The MK is Mortal Kombat for you non gamers. No, I haven't been into Mortal Kombat since 4 or 3 back in the day. I've never been a Mortal Kombat player to that degree. I've always been a Capcom player, and even more than that, a Tekken player. So Namco Tekken. I had played Tekken seriously since like Tekken 3, Tekken Tag. Tekken 4 is actually the one I went to, Tekken 4 Nationals, the actual Namco sponsored tournament. They had 13 regionals across the US. I think I qualified in the New Jersey, New York one, something like that. I got third place there. So out of the, I think 13 regionals, or maybe it was 12 regionals, the top three got basically a voucher to travel to Las Vegas that year and compete in the nationals. So I got third place there at the regional, and then I got to go to Las Vegas. Played there, unfortunately lost both my first 2 matches, which was disappointing. But the cool thing about that was I actually have 2 training partners that I trained really hard with. I was in college, I think my second or third year. I trained with them really, really hard. Um, I would drive an hour ish from Baltimore down to Springfield, Virginia, like 3 days a week to train with these 2 guys, Spencer and Chihei. We would play for like 5 hours straight, and we trained really hard. All 3 of us from our training group went to nationals that year, which is awesome. Like to think about 3 people that trained together out of like the 36 or 39 people who qualified for across the U.S. It was really amazing to be part of that team. So yes. Oh, hey TM, how's it going? TM says, what are you looking forward to most next year, toy wise, but also life wise? So that is an interesting topic. That is actually going to be my first live stream video topic of 2021. Things I'm looking most forward to. So I'm not going to get into that, but I will talk toy wise. Or Transformer wise, I won't talk about that, but toy wise, there's a bunch of stuff I'm very interested in. And life wise, I would like I think everyone else in the world, to return to some level of normalcy. I'd really like my daughter to be able to go back to school. It was her kindergarten year this year, and unfortunately, her first year as a kindergartner in real public school was cut short, having to do virtual. And I know she's disappointed. Even yesterday at dinner, she was like, I really want to go to real school, in-person school. So I really want her to experience that. So if we can get back to some level of normalcy just in school, in our schedules, and even just, going out, the toy hunts. I used to do toy hunts pretty regularly, not like T-Man 970 where I live stream them or film them, but that thrill of being able to really go in early and try to find the toy that you want. I really don't do that anymore, just for health and safety reasons and just for timing. Alan is also local to Northern Virginia. The TFW meetups, that is also a thing that I really do miss. not just the meetups for Transformers, but I've also gotten to the arcade scene in the last year as one of my COVID hobbies, and they used to do regular updates or meetups, whether it be just at restaurants or there's a new Round One bowling alley slash arcade that opened up in Northern Virginia, actually kind of near where Alan lives, I think, that we want to do the next meetup at. So I really want to do that as well. Are you trying to build an arcade? I'm not trying to build an arcade, but I do have now 4 Japanese um, arcade machines. I have a Blast City, I have a Naomi Universal, and I have 2 Vulixes that I just got this Sunday. I drove up to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, about a 4.5 hour drive each way, and picked up 2 of those in a trailer that I rented. I've never driven with a trailer before, so that was kind of scary. Did that in one day. So I am restoring those. 2 of them are already up and ready, and my kids are playing them. They were just playing them last night. So yeah, I really got back into that. I was into that scene a little bit more about 15 years ago, and now I'm just getting back into it again. Matt McCardle, he's also kind of a local. He's a Marylander, where I grew up in Maryland. It'd be nice to actually join up with some of the Maryland meetups because T-Man 978 is there, because Matt is there. Their crew is all up there, and I would really like to meet them again in person. I've met them before at TF cons before, but it would really be nice to get into that circle again and really just get again those interpersonal connections, new and old. I'd really like to just get and meet people again non-virtually. Oh, Alan, so you're into arcades as well. Oh no, you're near Round One. Yeah, we really want to meet up down there. Oh, the TF cons themselves. I've been going to the TF cons, always the Toronto one, and usually the U.S. one. I'm really looking forward to the fact that the one next year is going to be in Maryland again, kind of near me, really close to T-Man and Matt McCardle. So I really want to be able to do that. So hopefully there's no changes there. King Rao says I have a Mavic Air 2 and I shoot videos with it. Nice. Let's see. Clinical Street Fighter pinball? Come on, man. I mean, I'm not into pinball, but Street Fighter, I'll do anything Street Fighter. I did my job and approved Matt's message. What did he say? King Rouse, you're from Woodlawn, Maryland? Nice. Yeah, so you should try to join. I know that's not super close to where they do the meetups, but yeah, we definitely should. Hey, ABC Bricks, how's it going? Yeah, Baltimore, let's go. TM is going to come down. He's going to crash on T-Man's couch, I heard. Yeah, Baltimore is really exciting. I think the Mid-East is often highly neglected as far as like conventions go, but I've seen more and more starting to come to the Baltimore area, to the National Harbor, the DC area. Obviously, TF Cons come near me to Reston, which is, they call it DC, but it's actually in Northern Virginia, Reston. They've done that 2 years in a row. And of all the TF Cons I've been to, I think the first Reston one was by far like the most active and popular, at least from my experience. I've only been to TF Con for the last like 5 years or so. All right, so doesn't look like we have any more questions on queue. I think I've been doing a good job answering them, but yeah, things I'm looking forward to again. ABC Bricks is in Annapolis. Nice. I was just out there not too long ago. Yeah, Alan also says the first Reston was great. The second one was okay. Yeah, I think also the thing I'm most excited for those cons in general is also the third party panel. I think everyone enjoys that as the most exciting part of TFCon. I know they did the third party virtual one this year, which was great that they could do that. But we definitely love seeing those samples and so forth. Clinical says, I think I'm losing my interest in Transformers. Hopefully it's being replaced by something else of interest in your life. COVID hobbies are a big thing. Alan thinks the cons need to get more creative with their panels. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see more community-driven content. I know they do that with the not third party, but the panel that they do with with Chris and everything like the evangelist. I'd like to see more of that community engagement, and I actually want to do something like that too in the new year. One of the things I'd like to do is maybe start inviting one or two viewers to do a live stream chat, kind of like the way we do with TM and T-Man, but actually have it with me and a couple of regulars that I have, or newbies, or new folks that are just joining my channel, subscribers or not, and have them just have a candid conversation like this, but really it be more dynamic in that we do get to see their faces and hear their voices and really hear more of the voice of the community. I'd like to see that more than me just talking kind of one-sidedly, even if we do have this chat interaction. So that is actually one of the things I've been planning to do for a long time. And again, due to my laziness, I haven't started. But that's been in the back of my mind for a really long time. So I do want to do that. I don't want to do something like Patreon or anything like that where you have to pay to do that. I'd really just like to have that be for subscribers or even channel regulars, live stream regulars that I interact with. Hopefully those regulars who are on live streams are subscribers already. But yeah, I would like to do that. Obviously, I would want to pre-vet them a little bit, maybe have some conversation topics decided ahead of time that they're interested in talking about. And then, yeah, so we're just not getting, Zoom bombed or something like that, or stream bombed. So I do want to do that. Just be on the lookout for that. I will try to do more of those. And like I said, I'm trying to shift my channel more to live stream content anyway, and not pre-recorded stuff, because I think one, it's easier, two, it's more engaging, and 2020 really has been the year of the live streamer, I would say. So let's see, let me scroll back here. And I know I talked to Alan about this before. We talked about doing maybe a Northern Virginia, DC area live stream on my channel as well. So that's one of the things that I might do as well. Just have people join the live stream or Zoom, and we'll record it that way. Yeah, Woodlawn, I remember, is further out west now. I'm talking to King Rouse. He says he lives in Western Maryland. Is Iron Factory still making new stuff for next year? Yeah, I keep seeing them still announcing some stuff. I think in general we've seen a slowdown, across the, I guess, industry or companies. That probably had to do with the fact that again, COVID has slowed down stuff, shipping, pricing going up because of that. So they're probably very much impacted by that as well. Hey Paul, how's it going? Austin, Texas, a Toy Dojo native. What audio video camera do you use? I typically use my iPhone, especially for live streams. I do use my webcam, which I usually do here on my computer, but because I haven't live streamed using StreamYard in a long time, I totally forgot that I got to set that up separately. But yeah, audio wise, when I do live streams, I use my Blue Yeti, my Blue Yeti for that. But when I do live streams with T-Man and TM, but typically when I do filming, I try to do it all on my iPhone. It makes it a lot easier for me to execute my workflow quicker. And like I said, one of the most time-consuming things that is part of reviewing and uploading video content is editing. I think editing ends up being just as long, if not longer, than the actual shooting. And the prep work that at least I put into doing all the preparation of transforming, getting up to speed, and making sure that I have a method of transformation that is hopefully better than what you get in the instructions, and detailed enough where you don't need the instructions. Let's see, what else we got here? Let's see. Alan's talking about TFCon panels again. He says he can only take so much of the same voice actors and related panels. I get that. King Rouse is really excited to get his hands on the Minister trailer, but then he has one of those faces. So I don't know if he's being facetious in that or not. MF Doomtree says, "Hi, Paik. I was wondering what your thoughts were on another company picking up the now canceled Gigapower Dino Throne. So bummed they canceled it. Honestly, I don't use a lot of accessories like that, so I wasn't particularly excited about the throne. Fun fact, I actually do have the sample of that throne, Gigapower throne, in my storage room off to the side over there. They had sent it to a TFCon and they asked us to send it back. So I sent it to them and it got returned to sender all the way back from China. And it's been sitting in my closet ever since. Toy Dojo has tried telling them, hey, we have your prototype Grimlock and Throne. You guys want it back? And they just don't reply. So it's just been sitting in my storage for like 2 years now. Hey, Katos, how's it going? I'm guessing they probably also think it's not going to be a big draw. They might have also canceled it because the sample that they have went missing. I don't know. It's not missing. It's literally there. Toy Dojo and I have tried to send it to them. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, so thrones, I don't really have a particular interest in a Grimlock throne. I was really interested in that throne that was coming out for Megatron, the really accurate one. And I forget which company was doing it. I think it might have been the same company that did the Cybertronian Bumblebee mold. What was that? What was that? But that company went out of business too. The one that Spencer, I think, was leading. I forget. Kato says, yeah, Iron Factory announced a load of figures in 2021. Yeah, one thing that I talked about in one of my videos recently was I usually do the instructions, the official video manuals for Iron Factory, and they haven't sent me the last 2 or 3 releases. I haven't been in touch with them, so I don't know if they didn't find it useful or valuable, or just it wasn't generating enough views for them that they didn't think it was worth the investment. But in either case, you might not see any more official video manuals, at least from me, on the Iron Factory front, which is a bit disappointing. But to be honest, I'm not going to be too sad about that. Those were a decent amount of work, and because I don't collect Legends, I ended up usually like either selling or giving away those figures anyways. I only have a handful of Iron Factory and Legends figures left now. So let's see. Alan asked, what computer are you using to do your videos? I'm using my iMac. It's like a 2018 or 2019 iMac. And I use Final Cut Pro for my workflow. One thing I'm really upset about is just within the last update, they removed the upload to or share to YouTube feature where you could just directly have video settings and tags and description and title, and you would just click that and it would upload to your channel. They got rid of that, so now I actually have to export it and then manually upload it and manually put in all that information separately. So it really makes my workflow a lot more annoying because I could previously just do all my editing and share it, and then I could leave. But now I gotta export it, come back once it's done exporting, and then upload it. So it really, I don't know why they removed that feature. It seems like a huge step back. I know they did that for iMovie as well. TM Reviews also uses a Mac, and I think he uses iMovie. And I know the recent version of that also got nerfed, and that feature was reduced as well, or removed as well. So that also solidifies my desire to move more towards live stream only content. And I know a lot of people are probably bummed about that because my live stream content is not as streamlined, especially because I do answer questions, talk, and the transformation usually gets interrupted. And it's definitely not as smooth since I'm not editing out some of the mistakes. And I know a lot of people come to me for that content, especially transformations. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do something like T-Man does and some MGO does, where I just do a transform video with no other intro or review content in it. But again, that's a lot of extra effort to do that. So I don't know. I think I might just shift my focus, and if I lose viewers because I'm not doing the awesome transformations that I'm known for, that might just be the cost of doing business, unfortunately. Wow, so I'm getting a lot more comments coming in. So let me see if I can scroll back and try to get to some of these. Yeah, yeah, I do have Bruticus behind. ABC said you used to live in Tyson's Corner, not too far from me. What are the Toys projected figures of 2021? I hope their Blitzwing is still coming out. That's probably one of the most exciting figures, at least for me, from Fan Toys that's coming out. Oh my God, can I buy it from you? I don't know what your. I might have missed that Doomtree. Oh, the prototype. I can't sell it to you. It's not mine. I'm literally just storing it until we find out what we can do with it. Yeah, Gigapower is pretty terrible at communication. 2021 is supposed to bring us Hasbro's Unicron. Yeah, that is something that I'm excited about. Um, I mean, just the box. I don't know how much it must cost just to ship that thing. That thing is huge. Don Hulk, yeah, Mass Toys. I think they're the ones that was doing the Megatron throne. Sorry, trying to catch up on some of these. King Rouse says, my 17-year-old collects SH Figures, Dragon Ball figures, and has all of them so far. That's a lot of figures if he has all of them so far. Glad he has deep pockets. Hey, good morning, Baker Jen. He says, coming late, Merry early Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Happy Holidays. There's a new person here I've never seen before. Hi, I'm Marizuma. Nice to meet you, Marizuma. It looks like his screen name is maybe Japanese. Nice to have you there. All right, so I think I'm finally caught up. MF Doomtree says, just emailed Gigapower yesterday about possibly purchasing the Dino King prototype. Um, yeah, yeah, I do have those prototypes. I think one of the topics I'm actually going to be doing in my 10 days of live stream is just showing off some of the prototypes I have, whether that I've collected them or I was given them or something like that, or if they were Toy Dojo's prototypes that they've never asked me to send over to them. But yeah, I'll probably do one live stream in the 10 days that is dedicated just to talking about the whole prototypes and that process. So I think even in the past I've done comparisons, and even last night, or no, 2 days ago I did a comparison of the Mastermind Creations Nemo and the prototype that I have previously of that. I think people will be interested in see just kind of the differences that we've seen, even in late stage prototypes to the final product and so forth. Um, it's really interesting to me just to be able to show them to you early. Some of the downsides of that, though, and things that you see companies doing less and less of as far as sharing that, is that they don't want to show content that may be misconstrued as a final copy. And that's happened a lot where there's looseness of joints or the paint applications are done by hand and not as clean. Because Transformers is a global, collecting community, and content like video content like myself is only single language. It often gets misconstrued. So one of the big instances of that I've talked about in the past was KFC or X Transbots, same company. They sent out the copy of their Megatron and Apollyon, and I did a review of that, and people misconstrued that as like a final copy that were not English speakers, and that hurt their sales and their reception to that figure. And I really liked that figure when it first came out. It was definitely the first of its kind as far as like kind of an MP Megatron. We got a whole mess more of them later, but yeah, definitely got a lot of not what do I want to say, something back like flashback from X Transbots on that video because of that kind of things that are out of my control, right? So, Fans Toys doesn't send out prototypes anymore. A lot of other companies don't. I think MMC is the only company that I know that regularly sends out prototypes for review because they know me and they let me do that, and I try to be as upfront as possible about that it's a backlash. Thank you, backlash. How could I not think of that? I was thinking lashback. What did I say? Lashback? Let's see here. Hey, David, I haven't seen you in a while, David. It's good to see you. What is your favorite Bruticus now? I honestly don't have a lot of experience with Bruticuses, especially in the MP scale. Right now, the only one I have is the Ocular Max one, and I like that one for a variety of reasons. The all-in-one, I think the engineering is phenomenal across all the figures. The only problem, as people have noticed and explained, is that as a whole figure, it's not that stable. A lot of the joints, just especially in the hips, are just not strong enough to support the figure. I think he looks great, but also you gotta also consider the size. Brian E says, "What are your top 5 Transformers of all time?" Oh man, that's a really tough question to answer. I'm not gonna try to do all time, but I'm gonna talk about the ones that I come back to as still being king of the throne in my collection for a variety of reasons. I really like the DX9 Omega. He's definitely my favorite of all the Omegas, and a unbelievable value if you're able to get him at $180. Like, it doesn't make sense not to add him to your collection of $180. Um, Constructor, I still really love. He's still the most solid combiner that I have to date. But to be fair, I don't have any of the Zeta ones. I don't have any of the Unique Toys ones. So my input on that is pretty limited. I do still like a lot of the movie figures. The Challenger, I think Unique Toys Challenger, I really love. A lot of the MP Beast Wars figures, I think, are really good. I still really love Dinobot. I think they did a really good job there. The Kingdom version of that, it looks like it could be very might be just as good. Let's see. Oh, I really love the Overlord, MMC Overlord. That's a great figure. I'm really enjoying all the Fans Toy Stunticons now. Probably their Menasors, their Motormaster is my least favorite of the group, but I still really enjoy them. I love the Zeta or Studio Cell Unicron. I did the review of that. TE Prime is still going to be my TE Prime. Well, it's still going to be my MP Prime for the foreseeable future. It definitely was not dethroned by MP44. Who else do I have around here? Tactics Waistcoat, I still haven't reviewed him, and I meant to, and it's still back in all the packaging underneath there, because I do still want to review it. I still really enjoy him. I think he was a letdown in some cases, but overall I still really enjoy him. Oh man, there's just so many figures. I still really like MP Inferno. I think MP Inferno was the first of the new wave of kind of the anime inspired, really show accurate MPs that I really, really love the engineering for. That and Sunstreaker I really do enjoy, but I remember being really impressed with how they did the backpack of Inferno and Artfire. Um, Ocular Max Saltus, their Springer, is still one of my favorites. I think he's probably the best Ocular Max figure that they've put out, maybe bar none. What else do I have? I really enjoy my Solar Chigokin Sunny, Thousand Sunny. I'm sorry, sorry, I have Thousand Sunny in my mind because that's over here. I'm reviewing that later this week. But the Going Merry, the One Piece ship, I love that. Big One Piece fan. As far as Decepticons go, let's see. It's kind of my Decepticon display. MP36 is still great. And no, if you're out there, I still function. I am not going to transform him. Still like my Quake Blast a lot. MP Soundwave, even though he is getting long in the tooth, we haven't gotten a new version of Soundwave that I think has dethroned it yet. We will see one from Fans Toys, so I'm looking forward to that. Their acoustic wave. So we'll see how that works out. Other figures that I have. Sorry, this is kind of messy here. I'm gonna just turn this around so you can see. I still really love my Ultimetal Prime. It's just a great display piece. Oh no! Oh, my Voltron fell over. All right, well, it is what it is. And my collection of 3A30 movie figures, Bumblebee movie figures. I still love them. I have Soundwave coming from Toy Dojo this week. So yeah, that's a quick overview of some of my favorite figures I can think of off the top of my head. I also talked about how I love Spartan. He's probably still one of my favorite reformatted figures. So I took a long time answering that one. So I'm probably behind again on questions. So let's see. Hey, T-Man, how's it going? What are your thoughts on the Studio Series 86 designs? I think they look really great. I'm probably gonna get them. Um, I'm really a fan of that hot rod. T-Man loves that hot rod. He thinks it's amazing as far as looks and what we've seen from the reviews that have been leaked already. And yeah, he looks like he outshines the official and, in my opinion, the FT version. So let's see here. As a fighting game, Alan asked, as a fighting game fan, have you considered reviewing the Storm collectibles figures? Um, I have. I do own some of the Storm collectible figures. I got into the Street Fighter line early on, but I haven't reviewed figures a lot. I think a lot of the reason really is just because there are a lot of other figure reviewers out there, and they get stuff really early, and they do a really good job of it. So, and it's just not popular on my channel yet. Maybe I will start doing it. I did do the Imagination Works Goku last night, so I probably will do more of that. And again, I don't know why I stopped doing it just for views, because to be perfectly honest, I don't really care about views that much or subscribers, or the revenue. It's just something I like to do for fun. I don't think people really enjoy my reviews of figures though. Like in terms of pure value that I add there, I think that's probably the reason why they're not that popular. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. For those of you not in the know, Honest Tea, half and half, is the best drink on earth. All right, let's see here. Nice in transit. Can't wait to crack open 5 perfect grade kits in 2020. Yeah, so yeah, I do have the perfect. I'm guessing you were talking about the RX-78, the perfect grade Unleashed. That's coming this week as well. I also got the Master Grade EX Unicorn Gundam. I also still have the Unicorn PG that I have to build. I still have. What else do I have? What is that one? Oh, sorry. I still have the perfect grade Exia that I have to build. I have the Verka Wing Gundam that just came out. The Verka new Gundam. So I'm very behind on my Gundam builds. That was one of my stints during COVID. Is I went through like a whole month or maybe month and a half of just building Gundam kits for a while, and then I got kind of burned out. But I do want to get back to them. I definitely will be getting the Unleashed, and I'll be building that hopefully right away. All right, Jacob Hoberg. Hey Jacob, Artfire is one of my favorite MPs. Yeah, yeah. Happy holidays to you as well. I agree. MP Artfire is great. I like the deco a lot. Alan Harvey, he owns them. Just lazy. I don't own all of them. I only owned a couple of them. I own Bison. I own Ryu. I forget which other one I own. But yeah, I don't always open them. I'm a notorious buyer and not opener. Baker Jen says, cool to see a fellow FGZ contender here. Paik, have you ever been entered into EVO? Yeah, I went to EVO a few years. The year that I went to Nationals for Tekken 4, I went to EVO that year, and I lost to the winner. I don't know if you're a Tekken fan, but that year and I think the following year, the player Crow from Texas, he won. I lost to him 1 and 2 at one year in EVO, the year he won. I played Jin, and he played Jin at first. And I remember I beat him, Jin versus Jin, and then he switched to Nina. And he actually used a weird gimmick on me that I'd never seen before, where he did a combo that ended with I forget what the name of her move is, but it's kind of the kick that launches you. And the way it works is that if you teched, um, she would sidestep, and it would make you get up backwards and be able to do a launch combo on you again. So I'd never seen that before. Obviously, something very innovative that the Texas crew may have come up with. I'd never seen that before. He hit me with that, and basically it does 90% of your life because you get launched, comboed, and then you get a back launcher combo, which did 90%. So he did that to me, and that's how he won. I remember that very distinctly because I felt stupid getting launched by a gimmick. Do you have any regular despots that you love to transform frequently? Actually, I don't, because my desk is such a mess. The things I keep on here are actually comparison bots. So over here you'll see, sorry, over here you'll see I have MP44. I have him because I always compare him. I have my Streak and Bumblebee because I always compare them. I have a Voyager, and I have a Legends figure. That's what my desk is like. It's not for fun; it's for functionality and work. So I only have like this small section here that I have dedicated to Transformers. And yeah, it's really just for, because my studio is right next to it, it's just easy to grab comparison bots that way. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot of desk bots. And since I work from home, I don't have a desk spot at work because this is my my workstation as well. So no desk spots really. Every once in a while, I'll have a figure that I'll have on my desk for quite a while. Right now, it is the red RED Optimus, which TM Reviews sent to me for free, which I'm also planning on reviewing at some point. Let's see here. David says if PG Unleashed is the new norm, it'll be a game changer. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm excited for both the Perfect Grade and also the Sazabi that's coming out, the metal structure. I think it's raining where I am right now, but I can't tell. Fighting games on PS5? Oh man, I don't know. Live streaming games is a little too much effort for me, and since I haven't been playing Tekken in a long time, I did try to play Tekken 7 pretty hardcore when it first came out, but after over a decade of being off, it was really hard for me to get back into it. I did pick it up again really, really well, and I was doing really well, but I would lose to just randoms, lower level players that played characters that had come out in the last decade that I haven't learned up on yet. So I was losing to a lot of Katarinas, just spamming like slow lows, just because I'm like, what are they doing? And like Miguel and stuff like that. So I was losing more to characters due to unfamiliarity, but I really need to devote the time. That's really on me. I don't want to make excuses. It's up to me to like kind of learn them, but it's hard for me to devote a lot of time to that. Yeah, Baker Jen's talking about the crow defeat I had, but yeah. And one Evo I had, I was there for Tekken Tag, and I went up against one of the Korean players. I think it's Kim Bong Min. So he was in my pool, and he was literally my first match. He ended up winning, I think, that year, King Bong Min. So I think I lost to two Evo winners early in the bracket. Yeah, King Bong Min just destroyed me. He played double Mishimas, and he just destroyed my double Mishimas and my double Ogres. I tried both, and he was not having that. So yeah, that was just a blowout. It was not even close. Do I collect any Flames Toys 3K figures? I don't know what the 3K line. Oh yeah, yeah. So I do have their Drift, but I don't have any of their other figures. I don't really like the designs that they have for the other ones. Proportionally, I don't like the Optimus too much, and also the $300-$400 price tag is a little too much for me for what they have. How many Transformers haven't you opened is what T-Man978 is. Probably as many as you've seen in my collection. I probably have as many unopened. Maybe not that much, but I have a lot that are unopened. If it's 100 unopened figures, I wouldn't be surprised. Figure you dread to transform. Oh man, that's an interesting one. Figure you dread to transform. I know MP36 was a challenge at first. That's why I Still Function still teases me about that. There's probably some Fans Toys figure. Oh, Rouge. It's not even a contest. Rouge. I don't want to transform that figure. I feel like that figure is going to break every time I transform it. So MP Rouge, FT Rouge is probably the figure I wouldn't want to transform. There are some other bad ones, but none that I felt like, oh, MP Hound, just because of the horror stories I have about breakages and so forth. I don't think I would want to transform that just because I want to preserve the intactness of that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, those are pretty much the high level ones. For anyone thinking about trying to build Gundam, stick with the newer kits: Master Grade RX 78, 3.0, or Freedom 2.0, Verka Wing Zero. I like some of the older ones as well, but I think the RG line is really spectacular. For anyone who's, that's the real grade line. If anyone's trying to get into Gundam, the real grade line is phenomenal value for what you get. The real grade new Gundam is a really fun build. So is this Azabi, so I really do recommend getting into that, and they're low cost. But yeah, you'll get in trouble. Got lucky. David said got lucky and snagged a PS5. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be my Christmas gift. I also grabbed a Xbox Series S the other day because I'm actually going to use that for one of my arcade machines. It is a real emulation powerhouse for retro games, and so yeah, I'm gonna put that in one of my arcade machines just so I can have a retro machine for $300. Baker Jen says, yeah, I have their Prime. It's an odd design, but I prefer the Generation Toy OpX. Yeah, I have Generation OpX. Oh, he's on my IDW shelf, so he's in the. So yeah, even what I've shown you here, just in this room, is not my full collection. There's another 2 shelves out there that have some stuff populated. Let's see what else we have. King Rouse says, my MP Hound broke during transformation. Join the crew. I think TM and T-Man both have theirs broken. And this is Alex, another local. He's a figure arts guy. Which SH Figure Arts DBZ do you think is the best one and why? Ooh. I don't know if I can pick just one that I think is the best, but the one I really enjoyed and I thought was really amazing was I forget what it's called, but the Goku with the battle damaged clothing from the Frieza saga, from the Frieza battle. I remember seeing that and I thought it was just really amazing. The new paintwork and again the accuracy of the clothing, it really spoke a lot to me. That's one of the few that I don't know that I'll ever get rid of. Hey Z-Farsh, how's it going? Z-Farsh is a Toronto local. I met him at TFCon a few years ago. We always seem to try to keep in touch. A really nice collector, part of the community. Miss being able to see him at TFCon Toronto's. Paul says he builds Master Grade Gundams, and he loves the 00 design. Nice. Aktar Rykit, I don't think I've ever seen you before. Welcome to the live stream. I recently discovered your channel and absolutely love your live stream reviews. Awesome, awesome. I keep trying to do these more and more. How often do you sell figures in your collection? When you sell figures, what's the reason you usually do so? Usually the biggest reason is because either one, I don't enjoy them, which is pretty rare, and then 2 is because they don't fit in my collection in some way or form. Like Legends are the primary example. I do love Legends. I think they're great, but they just, I just don't have room in my life or my budget to devote to Legends. I think for the size of the figure you get, the cost is pretty high, and also the shelf space cost is very high because they're small, they take up a lot of square inches, and that could be devoted to lot larger figures, which again I'm predominantly a MP collector. Let's see here. Merry Christmas, Z-Force. Yeah, thank you. Hope you guys are all staying healthy. What arcade machines are you talking about? So Japanese, they're not dedicated machines. A lot of machines in the U.S. are dedicated. They were built for or sold with a specific game. But Japanese cabinets are typically modular in that was the design. They would give you a cabinet, and then you could use it with different arcade boards and just swap out the artwork and the marquee or the billboard kind of area. So I have a Blast City and a Naomi Universal and two Viewlixes. Viewlixes are the more quote unquote modern, even though they're like 20 years old now. But they're LCD, like usually 720 or 1080p LCDs. Let's see here. Matt also suffers from cracked MP houndage. Sorry. Z-Force is waiting on FT Smokey, which is their drag strip. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Mr. Adam Danger. Okay. Any thoughts on the cost of Legends creeping towards? Yeah, I kind of talked about that. They are complex, but they're also becoming really, really intricate. I think the Legends are making strides more than any other line. And that's just amazing. When we did the TF News every month with TM and T-Man Reviews, it seems like every time we see a new Legends figure, whether it's the New Age Galvatron or Shockwave, we're always like, is this MP? And it's hard to tell just by looking at pictures what scale it is. And because of the complexity and just how great it looks in both modes, it's amazing. King Rao says, the Great Ape Vegeta by far. Oh, that's also a game changer one. So I can see why you would pick that one as well. Scramble Cities Custom says, sorry, late to the party. What is an AMA? AMA is Ask Me Anything. It's a acronym popularized by Reddit. They used to do a lot, and I think they still do a lot of AMAs where celebrities or people of interest would go on and allow people to just ask any question they want of the person, and they would ask them. All right. Thoughts on X-Transbot's recent price hikes? Yeah, I talked about that on the TF News Live last month. I'm probably out on the trailer. I think $230 is not is most likely. I can't say that it definitely is. I don't want to judge just on pictures and past history, but I find it hard to believe that that trailer is going to be worth $230. I just don't see it, regardless of COVID. I think they're trying to recoup their costs on the low cost of their limbs, which is why most people, let's be honest, why most people got into that line, because they thought it was going to be a low cost, good enough or pretty good option. And I think they're also trying to recoup the cost of the redesign. They did an extensive redesign of their trailer, and so I think they're trying to recoup a lot of that cost. And unfortunately, they're trying to pass that on to the buyer. And I'm almost, unless Toy Dojo sends me a copy to review, I'm not buying it. I am buying their Virtus though, which is also pretty expensive, but I'm pretty excited about that. Mandalorian and Cobra Kai are my current two favorite shows. They're both high up on my list as well. I've been a Cobra Kai fan since season 1. Looking forward to it. And Mandalorian, even as I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, I've really been enjoying that series. John Shimko says, build a few Gundams. What large scale Gundams do you recommend? I really like the Perfect Grade Strike. I think that was a really good build. Larger scale, I'm guessing you're saying like at least M Master Grade. I haven't built it yet, but I've heard really great things about the Master Grade EX. That's a bigger one. And then, yeah, obviously I'm gonna recommend the Perfect Grade RX-78 Unleashed just because it seems like it's gonna be phenomenal. But I haven't built that yet since it's coming. I also like the Master Grade Suzabi. Like I said, I built that one in the past, but now I'm gonna build the Verka one very soon. Hey Al, yeah, the arcades, yeah. Anytime you want to come over, you can definitely come over, and especially if we do like another get together, maybe I'll host it at my house, and you guys can play some games as well. King Rouse says, I'm guessing he's talking about the trailer, $199 that shows the. Alex asks, do you ever think on your followers' wallet when you make review? Yeah, I do. So I usually try to say what I think, not the prices, but usually try to judge value, and I try to talk about that as much as possible. That's why, like I've talked about Legends being a little bit expensive, X Transbots being a little bit expensive, especially with their recent stuff. Some of their other stuff is very well priced, so I'm really disappointed unless they are raising the bar to that level that they're claiming on their Facebook. They're saying they're going to outdo Fans Toys, which most people hold as the gold standard of third-party Transformers. Unless they do actually surpass that and by a good margin, I just don't see the value there. And I also talked about the TFC Toys Lumitent that I just reviewed. I think that was maybe day one of my live streams. That was a phenomenally built figure quality wise, but $200 is a lot to collect, a lot for my fans to really recommend to. Based on the fact that it's an original property, it's not a Transformer, it is smaller, and just the design, I don't think it looks all that great. Eddie Powell is about $160 for the trailer at Oh My Primus. That is a deal. That is a deal. Do you cut your own hair? I risk my life at the barbershop. I actually do. I did cut my hair during peak COVID times for about 4 months. My hair is pretty easy. I just do some clippers. So it's pretty easy, but I've gone back to my salon as of late because I want to support her. She just opened her own shop, so I want to support her, make sure that small businesses stay open. But now that things are getting closed down again, I probably will start trimming my own hair again. Very interesting question, Team Han. AOGX Shocks. I think this is the first time that that I've seen you. So welcome to the live stream and the channel. Let's see who else we have here. Not sure if you answered this question before, but what character would you like to see in the MP line after Starscream 2.0? G1 or Beast Wars? Ooh. You know who I'd like to see? I'd kind of like to see, what's his name? From Beast Wars, why am I blanking on his Rampage? I'd like to see a Rampage. I don't think we get a lot of Rampage toys, and I always was pretty intrigued by that character. On first glance, most people probably think of him as like a dumb brute, but he has a really interesting storyline and background, so I'd like to see him, but I don't think we'll get to Rampage, maybe not ever, to be perfectly honest, in the MP line. Let's see what else I would like to see. I'd like to see a official MP Skyfire or Devastator Constructicons in the MP scale. Let's see here. Beast Wars also, I'm always a Prime fan, so I'd like to see not the Surfboard Prime, but I'd like to see the Optimal Optimus at some point. Oh My Primus or TF Express charges $50 for shipping. Yeah, so that makes sense. It's still going to be $200 plus. What are your top 3 or 5 toys of 2020? I'm not going to mention mine. I don't do like top figures. I do top winners and losers. And that will be probably my my New Year's Eve live stream where I'll talk about that. But Zfar says his are Sheridan, Hunk, Thomas, Dune Rider, and Magnum. All FT? No, definitely not all of those, I would say, especially not Dune Rider. I think Dune Rider is super overrated, even though T-Man and TM um, really love him. I think they've said that he's in the running for their top five. MP Windblade, yeah, I'm not that interested. MP Drift, I don't know if you mean movie drift or IDW drift. I just don't see that happening, to be perfectly honest. Not official, at least. What are your biggest regrets as a collector, whether it's a figure you got or failed to get? Merry Christmas, by the way, from Brian E. I talked about this before too. I had the G Creations six shot, and I sold him because I was getting the Hydra, and I regret that. I think Hydra is not nearly as good as the G Creations six shot, so I regret that. Um, I regret not getting the Iron Trans Star Saber when it first came out. Now if they were supposed to do a second run, and they haven't seen it, and everyone says that's awesome, including TM Reviews. So I'm super sad about that. Um, things as a my other regrets. I do regret kind of like coming into the collecting a little bit later. I think there are a lot of things that I missed during like the gap between like childhood and adulthood. I regret missing some of the um, what is it animated. So I only watched animated in the last year, and so I totally missed all of those toys. And when I first saw them as a collector coming back into it, I was like, these designs are really weird. I don't know why people are interested in them. Why are people, really searching hard for some of these figures? And now I get it. I do think that the design and the story for animated was really good after season one. Actually, the locals, like I think Alan Harvey, who's in the live stream, and Razor Wire Ron, they're the ones, and I think also Chad, he also got me back. I think those three got me into it. So I regret missing that. I missed the whole Armada series, which I think people either love or hate. I missed that. I do miss kind of toy wise the realistic car line, the alternators and Vinyl Tech. I really like realistic cars. That's why I was a big fan of the MP line kind of during the second phase, where they had like the realistic cars, but kind of show or toy accurate robot modes. So I'm kind of bummed that they're going away from that. But the new line is also really great. It's just not as appealing to me as as the more realistic designs. I always think of MP as that mix of real life vehicles and robots. Let's see here. Baker Jin asked, Pake, are you interested in any of the stylized combiners like TFC, Abominus, Kang Toys, Predaking, or the new Superion? No, not really. I'm really a G1 kind of enthusiast, so I'd like to see something at least more accurate. I do kind of like the look, and everyone speaks volumes about the Kang Toys Predaking, so I kind of want to check it out, but they're also really big, so it'd be really hard for me to put them in my collection. King Rao says number one for me is FT Thomas. I don't think that's a bad choice at all. T Man 978 also says MP Beast Wars Rampage as well. I hated the legs on the arms. Yeah. MP Sharkticons or Blast Off by FT would be cool. I'm not really that into Sharkticons. Blast Off, I mean, then I'm sure they'll get to it when they start doing their combiners. Depth Charge, I was never really into Depth Charge. I thought he was always kind of a douche. Tiger Hawk, we'll see. Actar Rykit says your reviews are extremely polished and smooth, even the live ones. How much do you prepare beforehand in terms of scripting and practicing? So I don't script. I do have ideas that I want to talk about and topics, but I don't. I do a lot of prep work. I transform figures probably no less than 6 to 10 times each direction. And when it comes to triple changers or combiners, I mean, that's even more. I try to get it extremely, extremely smooth. Again, I really try to investigate why the instructions should be improved in certain ways. The tactics waistcoat, a lot of people complain about that. And all the reviews I've seen follow the instructions, like do the upper body, then the lower body, and then they complain about these collisions. If you do the lower body first, it's a much smoother transformation. There's no interferences or collisions, and it just logically, if I go through the process and I say this doesn't make sense to me, you should go this way. I explain it that way, and it just for me it's common sense. I think some people may not go through those transformations enough to really think about that, but I put a lot of thought. Prep work for my reviews is easily 2 or 3 times longer than the actual shooting of the videos themselves. It's not even close. Animated is generally underrated. I love the series. I love the series after season 1. I powered through season 1 and stopped at the season finale, and I gave up. And then it wasn't until COVID that I forced myself to watch the rest. And I really don't regret it at all. Season 2 and beyond is a really, really great series. One of the best Transformer stories by far. MMC Predacons. I have the MMC Predacons. They're definitely old now. They're very dated. And they're not G1, so I would really like a better G1 Predaking for sure. Zfar says, I consider my collection as complete. I downsized a lot this year, down to at least kibble and favorites. I think that makes sense. So I think we're finally caught up. I actually thought this was going to be a short one. I thought we were only going to be like 30 minutes. I didn't think there were going to be a lot of people who are, one, going to be attending Christmas Eve morning, and two, really interested in Ask Me Anything. But it's great to see. I actually thought that you guys would ask me more about other stuff besides my opinions on Transformers, about my personal life, or other things that I'm interested in. I guess we got a little bit of that. But really, I guess you guys are still mostly interested in me talking about Transformers. Do you like Macross or Robotech? If so, what is your favorite Valkyrie? Unfortunately, I have not watched Macross at all, much to the dismay of Razorwire/Ron, who's a big fan of that. He has told me I need to watch one of the movies on Netflix. It's the most famous one, and I just don't remember what it's called. But he's told me I have to watch it, and I really do need to watch it. I probably will. I think he said it's on Netflix. I feel like it has a title of like music or dance or ballad in the title. I could be wrong there. King Rouse says, I watched Bleach again, the 1,000-Year War arc. Bleach, I think, is hit or miss for me. I really like the beginning and the Rukia rescue arc. But then after that, I don't really like a lot of the other stuff. I guess the Eisen arc, yeah, that was really good. But the arc that happened with the Hollows, not the Vizards, but the what are they called again? Anyway, that arc was pretty cool. I think most people would understand what I'm talking about when they go to the Hollow world. King Rouse asks, how many kids do I have? I have 2. That's right. I have one boy and one girl. Older boy who's 10 and my daughter who just turned 6. Alex asks, do you ever miss a figure that you wish you can get now? Not really. Luckily, I've been able to secure stuff afterwards that I really like. Most recently, I talked about the Iron Trans Starsaber. If I really wanted to, I would just shell out the eBay prices to get it, but I'm not that pressed on it. Baker Jen says Planet X is hit or miss. We'll have to see. I haven't collected Planet X in a long time. I really did like their Um, Omega, even though it's not G1, but I sold that one years ago. Do you have any Star Wars hot toys? No, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. That's TM. TM will. He said he's watched episode 4 like 100 times in his lifetime. I'm not that big of a fan. And hot toys, that's just another line that I don't want to get into at all. I think the 1/6 scale is a dangerous line. I'm starting to get into that because I saw the 3 Zeros doing kind of that line. I'm really interested in their Power Rangers that they just announced the other week. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That was a big Power Rangers fan growing up. So I'll probably collect at least the Green Ranger from that. What are your top shows of the past few years? Number one show of the past few years, bar none, at least English speaking, is the Good Place. I think that show is phenomenally well written. It's on Netflix. You should definitely watch it. It's very existential. It's very thought provoking. It's very very funny. It's also surprising. Every season ends in a way that you don't expect it to. Especially season one, I thought it was going to be a show that I would probably be able to understand what it's going to be about. I thought it was going to be very predictable, but it's not. It's a phenomenal show. I would recommend that to anyone. I also watched Community for the first time in the last year. I think I recommended that to TM. That's a great show. The later seasons, not so much. If you like Korean dramas, which I'm not really a huge fan of, there's a show on Netflix called It's Okay Not to Be Okay. I think in Korean it's called Saikujiman Kenchana or something like that. Even if you're psycho, it's okay. But It's Okay Not to Be Okay is a phenomenally written show that has comedic elements. It has thriller. It has kind of horror elements. It has family. It has love. Um, it has what would I kind of call it? It has heart, and it's extremely well written, extremely well filmed, really high production values, and it's a show that I watched and I immediately wanted to watch again. There are several moments in there that made me cry. There are several moments that made me laugh out loud hysterically. Um, so yeah, It's Okay Not to Be Okay, The Good Place are two shows that I would recommend to anyone to watch. There are also shows that I would recommend to collectors if you haven't seen them, like The Toys That Made Us is a good show. If you're a video game fan, Insert Coin is pretty interesting. Um, but yeah, those are probably the shows that I would recommend off the top of my head. That are across different genres, so hopefully that gives you an idea of something that you should watch across different interest areas. If you like Korean drama, It's Okay Not to Be Okay. If you like, as far as Transformers or something like that, anime wise, I really like the Netflix series that have been coming out anime wise. Um, what's it called? The Castlevania series is pretty good, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, sorry I went off on a lot of different tangents there. Um, Top favorite anime aside from Dragon Ball. So this is not a new one, but my number one anime of all time is Hajime no Ippo, the fighting. It's a boxing series. It's probably the only anime based off of manga where I say that it's worthwhile and could be better in a lot of circumstances, that the anime is better than the manga. And I say that as a manga snob. I would say most anime are far subpar to their original manga. Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball, um, One Piece, Monster. If you've ever read the manga Monster or watched the show Monster, the anime Monster, I love all these as manga, and I tend to not like them as or something about the anime um, makes me always say this is not as good as the manga. But Hajime no Ippo, the fighting, is a phenomenal standalone anime, and it keeps the heart of the original manga and adds to it with phenomenal animation and boxing that you really should watch. It's one of the longest continually running manga in history. They're like over 1,300 chapters at this point. But the anime ended early on, had a couple of OVAs and movies. They came back for another season or two of the anime, but it's really far behind. So I highly recommend that as an anime. Other stuff, if you like anime movies, what was. I'm not going to remember the American title of some of these, but there was one that came out a couple years ago about a boy and a girl who um, communicate to each other and switch bodies and stuff like that. I forget what the U.S. title is. Dang it, the one with the meteor. I just don't remember the U.S. title. Um, let's see. TM asks, are there any hobbies or things that you into that you are into that you wish your kids were into? Um, not really. I think honestly, I'm kind of glad they just don't take after me in the sense of they're interested only because I'm interested in it. But there are things that I think you can connect with your kids with um, that help strengthen that bond. I don't want them to be necessarily into Transformers or anything like that. Um, I would like them to be interested in gaming a little bit more, just because I think that's something that we can share together. So they're interested in like iPad games, but I would like to see them be more appreciative of deeper games, I guess I would say. But I think that's going to come later in life. I know T Man shares that bond with his kids. I think TM talks about how he shares that family time. The only thing that I've shared with my kids in terms of gaming is like the Mario games and like Mario Party. We do that as a family. More recently, though, we've really gotten the kids into Tetris. My wife and I are very competitive, and we play Tetris a lot recently. And with my arcade machines, I've set it up so that they can play Tetris there, and they're really enjoying playing each other, even though there's a 4 age gap. Playing Tetris, which I was really surprised about. They enjoy that more than the fighting games or the beat 'em ups or the fighters that I have on there. So, very surprised about that. Let's see. Man, more questions are coming. I'm actually surprised how many are coming. T-Man, give me some toys. Yeah. Dave is into the GI Joes by 3-0. They look really great. I'm just trying not to get into them. What are your favorite games to play with your kids? I think I talked about that. My son was really into Zelda Breath of the Wild after I played it, and he beat it. And I thought as an 8-year-old it'd be way too hard for him, but he beat it. I'm very surprised. So we bonded over that. Bakerton, The Good Place is great. I'm super cynical, but it was refreshing to watch. Yeah, that show is really great. Bong Joon Ho movies are good. Yeah, I agree. King Rao says he's a disabled veteran from 2000 2008. Oh, what kind of work do I do? So I'm a government contractor. Mostly do IT stuff for government, helping them get better at being agile. Yeah, software development, like life cycle stuff. What are your best trips and travel places? Mine are Hawaii and the Caribbeans. I was at Hawaii for my 10-year anniversary a year and a half ago. It was amazing. I love traveling to Korea. Korea is a great country. Obviously, I'm Korean, but I never went there until I was like in my 20s, and that's where I met my wife. So that's where my sister-in-law is. I love the food there. I love the culture. I don't think I could live there, like especially not Seoul, but it's a great place to visit. Baker Jin says, yes, Ipo is my favorite as well. Yes. Yes. I read the manga weekly, Baker Jin. So yeah, I'm caught up. Oh, Your Name. Yes, that's the name of the man. Baker Jin and I are connecting on a different level here today. Yeah, Your Name. I loved Your Name. I thought that was a phenomenal movie. I tried watching it with my wife, and she fell asleep. So I almost divorced her that day. Brian asked, I almost forgot to ask Paik, who are your favorite Transformers characters? Mine are pretty standard. Optimus Prime, you got to have the feels for him. I really do love Devastator. It's probably my favorite combiner. My favorite Beast Wars character is Dinobot. I think his overarching story arc as like the anti-hero is really great. Yeah, those are probably my favorite characters. Like, oh, Soundwave. Soundwave in Prime is just a character that you gotta love. He's a man of very few words always, but the words he says are great. My SQL stuff, no, I don't do. I'm not a programmer, but I do help software development lifecycle stuff. So I'm a Scrum Master and a release train engineer, so I help people get on Agile. I also did a lot of entrepreneurial stuff. My background is in innovation. I've taught an MBA course on innovation and technology processes. I've helped support a lot of incubators or accelerators, technology accelerators in the past in different areas like smart cities, in emergency management for government, cybersecurity stuff. I used to work in the cybersecurity area for entrepreneurial stuff. I'm not. So Baker said another common thing we have is agile programmers. I'm not a programmer. I haven't been a programmer since college, but yeah, I do agile. Coke or Pepsi? I don't drink soda anymore at all. I drink sparkling water, but growing up, I was 100% Team Pepsi. I will still say that to this day. Team Pepsi. What do you think of Saint Seiya figures? I've never collected them. I don't understand the appeal of them, but I know that people go crazy over them. Toy Dojo sells them, and they're like, you can't sell them enough. So your sister, Scramble City says his sister was stationed in Korea before the Iraq War. She loved it. Yeah, it's fantastic. Maddie the dentist says, Paik, you live in the DC, Virginia area, correct? Did you know I'm a dentist? No, I assumed you're a dentist, but yes, I do live in the DC, Northern Virginia area. Where you practice, Maddie? Maybe I need to switch dentists. I'm in like the Chantilly area, Chantilly, Fairfax. What do you think about the shift to Hypertoon Actor sculpting? I've talked about that a lot. P. Didich. I am a little disappointed with it. I really love the blend of realistic cars, but I gotta say they've been doing a really great job of some of the more recent figures. Maybe not MP44 or 45, but I really did like their Hound. I think their Hound was really great. So it's a trade-off. I do think the pricing is getting a little out of hand though, so we'll see. I'm supposed to be getting MPRC fairly soon. It's supposed to arrive before the new year, but it hasn't shipped, so I'm a little concerned about that. I think I'm going to be a little disappointed in her. Whiskey or vodka? I don't drink alcohol on the regular, very, very rarely. But if I were to pick between whiskey or vodka, it'd be vodka. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick tequila as my hard liquor of choice because I try to get from point A to B as soon as possible. And I don't like the taste of alcohol. It's not a lifestyle choice. It's just I really don't like this taste of alcohol. So when I want to get drunk or get buzzed, I drink the hardest thing I can find to get there in the least amount of drinks as possible. Does some of your family, like mine, wish you wouldn't spend so much time on figures? Honestly, I've cut down so much on figure collecting, on reviews, as you can tell. So they don't complain too much about it. I always have other hobbies, though. So right now I'm doing arcade machine refurbishing or reconditioning and buying. And that's my new obsession. And so they have complaints about me spending my time on my hobbies, whichever one that may be in that moment. But it's usually not about figures. Although my wife has threatened to throw out or break figures when she's mad at me. That definitely happens. My sister used to live in Bethesda. Yeah, that's not too far. Oh, you're in Ohio, Cleveland. Okay. Never. I've only been to Cleveland once, and that was in college. I did show a bit of my updated collection. I'll probably actually show some of that as part of my another live stream. We're already at, oh my gosh, almost 90 minutes. I really didn't think I was going to be devoting that much time. And I got to feed my kids soon. So I'll probably do that as part of my most anticipated New Year collection. Something like that. Maybe a collection review. So like I said, I'm going to be doing another one tomorrow night. It's going to be another discussion. I actually want to hear from you guys tomorrow. So I want to see what you guys got for Christmas, whether that's Transformers or collectible related or not. So that'll probably be a short one tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That one's already scheduled. And then I might try to rope in T-Man and TM978 to that. I might try to invite them to be more dynamic, since we already did a one-on-one today. I'm going to put that out there to T-Man978 and TM Reviews if you're both still in the chat. If you guys are up for it, you guys want to join my live stream tomorrow and talk about what we got for Christmas and interact with our fans, we'll do that on StreamYard. And then I'll be back to doing a collectible review on the 26th. And then, like I said, at least 2 more podcast style discussions. I'll be doing my top 5 winners and losers on New Year's Eve. And then for New Year's, my first one will be my most anticipated figures of 2021. So yeah, my next figure review will probably be the One Piece Thousand Sunny, the Chogokin one. And then I'll probably do a Transformers figure. But yeah, thanks all 30 plus of you that joined over the last hour and a half. I really am pretty happy with the turnout that came from just this one day announced live stream and this topic of Ask Me Anything. So thanks to everyone. Happy holidays. Stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy the holidays with your family, and hopefully we'll get back to some normalcy next year. Thanks to everyone for the questions. And again, join me tomorrow night, hopefully with TM Reviews and T-Man978 for a live stream, sharing what we got for Christmas and talking about our Christmas holiday stories, past and present. All right? Have a good one, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow.